entertain the Calvin Knights. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into our broadcast from the Tarble Arena. John Weiser with you. Glad you're along for our basketball game here this afternoon. A couple of teams that have been scuffling of late set to do battle here in the second game today of this Carthage Classic 2 versus the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association and the CCIW. Carthage taking on Calvin here in game number 2. Earlier this afternoon, it was Wheaton Hope knocking off Wheaton by a score of 66-55. We'll talk more about that ball game in a moment. Redmond come into this ball game having dropped 2 of their last 3 contests, including the game last night against Hope College, 73-55, the final in that one, as the Redmond staged a rally after trailing by 11 at the break. Redmond got to within 7 early in the second half, 57-50, but that's as close as Carthage would get. They went nearly 10 minutes without a field goal in the final 11 minutes of that ball game, and really fell apart offensively down the stretch. And not so much perhaps what the Redmen were doing, but as defensively as to what Hope was doing against the Redmen, taking them out of their offensive rhythm in that second half. Quite a valiant effort, though, by the Redmen as they tried to hang with a very scrappy and tough Hope team who came to Kenosha into this tournament at a 1-3 mark and come out of this tournament winning 2 games. So Hope feeling very good about themselves, getting back on that bus headed to Holland, Michigan later on this evening. For the Redmen last night, it was Mike Keltson who led the way in a very spirited effort by Keltson. 13 second half points en route to 15 for the ball game. He was 6 of 11 from the floor, hit a three-pointer, had an assist in that ball game, and really displayed some talent taking the ball to the basket. And one of the few bright spots of last night's ball game was the play of Keltson and Cameron Van Wyk, for that matter. Van Wyk finishing with 14 points last night, 12 in the second half as well, 7 of 10 from the floor. He was pretty much the 0-foot range in the second half, getting some recipient of some nice passes on either side of the block for that. Also collected 4 rebounds last night in the loss to Hope College. Really the 2 bright spots out of that ball game. Reese Hurth struggled a bit last night with his shot. Hurth was just 1 for 10, 0 for 5 from three-point range last night. Still played a pretty respectable defensive game, but Hope just went after Reese last night and just clamped him down, as teams want to do. Looking at the statistics sheet, seeing that Hurth is the team's leading scorer, that's the first option they're going to take away, is the ability of Reese Hurth on the first option. So we'll see how Calvin handles Reese here today, and if in fact that is they're going to be their strategy coming into the contest here today. Redmond were out-rebounded last night, 37-26, and have to do a better job on the glass here this afternoon against a taller and more athletic Calvin team. As we said, this Calvin team has lost 2 in a row. They dropped the ball game last night to Wheaton College in that contest ahead of us last night. Final in that one was 70-66. Calvin got 19 points from their preseason All-America candidate Jordan Brink. He had 19. Jordan Daly added 13, the only players in double figures. Connor Vanderbrug coming off the bench with 9 points for the Knights. But this is a team that's picked to finish first in the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association by the coaches in that league. They were selected as the preseason favorite. The Knights won the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association tournament last year, and earning the automatic bid into the Division III tournament. They went down to the round of 16 in that tournament, and they returned 9 letter winners from last year's team that finished 24-6 overall. They're averaging about 77 points per game, shooting 47% from the floor, a very respectable 36% from three-point arc, and they are a +7 on the glass. And what's remarkable too, they're double-digit offensive rebounding, so they crash the boards pretty aggressively on both ends of the floor, holding opponents to 43% from the floor. Opponents shooting a little bit better at the three-point arc, but again, all the rest of the stat breakouts for this Calvin team favor the Knights, and rightly so. This preseason All-America candidate Jordan Brink is D3Hoops.com preseason All-America third team selection earlier this year. He's a native out of Dyer, Indiana. He's coming off a season where he averaged 15 points a game, and was a first-team All-MIAA selection in 2014 and was a D3Hoops.com Great Lakes All-Region third-team choice. He is a captain on this Calvin team, and everything runs through Jordan Brink. He does everything so well. He's averaging 20 points per game this year, 60% shooting from the floor, 50% three-point percentage. He is averaging 95% from the free throw line. He gets 6 boards per game, and he doles out 4 assists per contest. So he is going to be a load here today for the Redmen to try and contain and keep him from dominating the game. That will be the story here today for the Redmen. I suspect, in talking with the coaching staff a little bit last night and again this morning, that it's we're going to see some zone here. I think we're going to see a zone defense here put out by the Redmen, maybe more so than we've seen in some other games this year, but to try and take away some of that height. Again, Tyler Dykstra at 6'9" is a senior. They have a 6'9" center, a senior in Daniel Stout. They have a couple of 6'7" players in Connor Vanderbrug. Vanderbrug, most notably a freshman coming off the bench. So this is, again, one of your typical Calvin teams where they've got the tall, lanky players along the front line for this Calvin team. So that will be the storyline here today. The Redmen need to compete on the boards. They need to do a much better job running the offense. And really what it comes down to today for the Redmen, possession by possession. They need to get good looks on each offensive set. Need to be patient on offense. I thought they rushed things a little bit last night. Take advantage of that 35-second shot clock. Work the ball. Get at least 3 to 4 passes per possession before looking for that first shot. That's what's on the Redmen docket here today. So we mentioned earlier today in the the game ahead of us, it was Hope coming away with a victory in that ball game by a score of 66-55 over Wheaton. So the Hope Flying Dutchmen go 2-0 in this tournament. Wheaton goes 1-1. In that ball game, 3 players in double figures for the Flying Dutchman, led by Ben Gardner with 14. Gardner 2 for 8 from the floor, but he was a perfect 10 for 10 from the line. Matter of fact, Hope hit all of their free throws in that ball game, 20 for 20 from the stripe in that contest versus Wheaton. The other storyline was the job they did defensively on Braden Tischer. Tischer had 10 points at the break and hit his first 2 3-point shots to start the ball game, but missed his next 4 from three-point range, and he went a collective 1 for 7 in the second half, finished with just 1 second half point coming from the line. And the Hope did a fantastic job shutting down Braden Tischer in that ball game. 4 players in double figures for Wheaton. Riley Tischer with 12, Braden Tischer with 11, Caleb DeMoss with 10, and Peter Smith with 10. Wheaton shot just 25% in the second half, 8 for 31 for the game. The Thunder went 20 of 61, 32%. Meanwhile, Hope 55% second half shooting for the game, 20 of 47, 42%. And the Wheaton Thunder out-rebounding the Hope Flying Dutchman 36-32 in that contest. But again, it came down to just a little bit better shooting and free throws in this contest, as Wheaton just goes 7 times to the line in that contest and goes 6 for 7 from the stripe. So Wheaton falls to 5-3 on the year. Hope, with their back-to-back wins, now leaves Kenosha at 3-3. So the 3-4 Redmen get set to take on the 4-3 19th ranked Calvin College Knights here this afternoon. When we come back, we'll visit with head basketball coach Bosko Jurkovic. We'll get his thoughts on this afternoon's game, look ahead a little bit to what's at stake here for the Redmen as far as the importance of this ball game as far as the Redmen are concerned. That'll be one of the questions coming up in our coaches segment. That'll be coming your way next, right after this 60-second break. This is Carthage Redmen basketball on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. Welcome back to the Tarble Arena, Game 2 of the 2-day Carthage Classic 2. This afternoon, the Carthage Redmen taking on nationally ranked Calvin College out of the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association, joined now by head basketball coach Bosko Jurkovic. And been with you for a long time now, and I have to believe last night was maybe the most disappointing performance I've seen in a long time here with that team. And I know we'll put it to bed here in a minute, but just to put a bow on that, just was not very good basketball last night.
We haven't played well in a while, John, and there's no excuses. You just have to keep moving forward. You have to improve your product and compete better than we have. We just have not been able to stem bad play once it gets rolling. We played reasonably the first 7-8 minutes of the second half. You look up, you got the ball, you're down 7, you got a little bit of momentum, and all of a sudden it just goes poof. Through a couple timeouts, through a couple of this and that's, and we just haven't been able to do that against good teams all year.
Much of that was what they were doing as opposed to what you were doing.
We're a flawed basketball team, and I don't mean that by being bad players or bad guys. That's not at all what I mean. We have a limited number of people that can attack the basket on the dribble, and we really are not a good low-post scoring team. When you take those things away, then you have to have intricate offensive cutting, passing, and the ability to shoot the basketball. And against good teams, they don't allow for that every night, and that's sort of been the issue.
I hope at the shoot-around today, I think the guys kind of felt they didn't play very well, and I think they know they can play better, and I think we might see a better effort here today.
I hope so. This is a resilient group. It's a group that thinks reasonably of themselves. They think that they've got a chance to be a competitive team every time out. But somewhere along the line, all that thinking and talking isn't as good as the doing. And we need to get out onto the court, and we need to play for 35 minutes or 38 minutes or 40 minutes, whatever it takes on a particular night, and give ourselves the best chance to be successful. Until we do that, and we've done that once at Platteville, who's a really good team, then we're in this up and down mode, which you try to avoid.
What you have to do here is take it possession by possession, play good possession by possession basketball.
Well, we talked a little bit about it last night, you and I, John. I've talked with our coaches about this, and a couple of the guys who have asked. This has to be a game-by-game process. And then it breaks down to a possession-by-possession process. We have to value those a little bit more. We're a little bit flippant with the basketball. We turn it over more than we should. That's never a good thing. But it's a game-by-game. Right now, it's Calvin. There's no thought of the conference season. There's no thought of the conference opener or the last 2 non-conference games before Christmas. It's Calvin right now, and we need to approach every possession as if it's the last one.
The Knights are 4-3. They lost in the opening game last night to Wheaton. This is a bigger team. They've got a couple of big guys, but it all goes through the All-American candidate, Jordan Brink. 20 points per game, 60% from the field basketball, 50% from behind the three-point arc, plus he's doling out assists at about 4 or 5 a game.
And rebounding it at 5 or 6 a game. Spectacular player, one of the best players we'll see all year long because he does everything, and he does it in a team concept. You really have to appreciate a player like that. And they're the typical Calvin basketball team. They're big. They're mobile. They move the ball. They shoot the ball. On the other hand, we've had good matchups with Calvin. Our quickness has bothered them in past years. We've been able to get the shots that we've wanted, and in recent years have done a very good job against them. So it'll be an interesting matchup tonight. It's their size and their star player. Hopefully a little bit of our quickness and a little bit of our execution gets us the shots we want, and we just have to be better. I think we'll be fine defensively. I really do. There are some nights we don't defend very well. I think we all understand that. But I believe that schematically and effort-wise we'll be above average defensive basketball team. Right now I'm concerned about where the points are going to come from. And again, that's not an individual thing. Is it going to come from player 1 or player 2? It's how are we going to find enough points if we can't attack the rim and frankly don't have much of an inside scoring game.
More zone maybe tonight than we've seen in a while?
We're going to mix it up. We're going to play some zone, and if we decide that zone is an important part of our package moving forward, then we have to practice it a little bit more. We have to do a little bit more with the execution and the communication. We just finished the first half of the Hope-Wheaton game, and Hope decided that the Wheaton cutting and back-cutting game was something that they didn't want to deal with, and they zoned them. And it took Wheaton out of their rhythm, and Hope does a nice job. It's not their primary defense, but sometimes the zone is a good change-up, and I think we're going to treat it that way.
You mentioned looking for points. I thought Kelson last night played one of his best games in a Carthage uniform. He had 13 second-half points, finished with 15, shot the ball reasonably well, and had good shot selection for him.
Mike's a talented player. He's a strong perimeter player. He's got good size and height-wise. He's about 6'3". He's a really good shooter. That didn't show last night. He was able to take the ball to the basket and score the ball some. He's another player that you would like to see improve his ball handling. If and when that comes, he's got a chance to be a really good player.
Reese struggled with his shot last night. Is this a case of you shoot yourself out of a slump here?
I don't know, John. In his situation, he now has a different burden. I think he's played very well for 7 games. His defensive play has been pretty good. His ball handling and passing have been better than they've been in previous years. But when you go out onto the court and the other team says, well, he's the first guy we're going to stop, it changes the equation. The easy shots kind of disappear. You have to earn your shots as well as your makes. And last night he just didn't shoot the ball very well. He took a couple of shots that probably weren't the best, but just did not shoot the ball well. We need him to shoot the ball better than that, and I think that'll happen this afternoon.
Taking a look now at the Blueprints for Success, sponsored by Riley Construction Incorporated here in Kenosha. Bosco, how do you have it drawn up on the whiteboard here today?
We still need to attack Calvin the way we have in the past, and that is space them out, attack from the middle out, and get the shots that we want. They're a very correct defensive team. They give you perimeter looks if that's what you want to take, and we're going to have to make some of those shots, especially early in the game. 2 is with Calvin, always compete on the boards. They're always big. Always big. I can't remember a Calvin team going back that didn't have some 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" players, and this team's no exception.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Johnny.
Blueprints for Success brought to you by Riley Construction Incorporated. Let us make your job easier. Member of the U.S. Green Building Council and a proud partner of Carthage Athletics. Redmond coach Bosco Jurkovic joining us on our pregame. Carthage getting set to take on Calvin College. We'll have the starting lineups and tip-off for you right after this on AM 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena, getting set for Redmond basketball this afternoon. A great contest as Carthage getting set to take on 19th-ranked Calvin College. Still plenty of room for you here at the Tarble Arena, so if you're out and about this afternoon looking for something to do with the family, come on down to the Tarble Arena. Great atmosphere for Division III college basketball. Division III football playoff quarterfinals going on this afternoon, and a furious comeback by Wisconsin Whitewater this afternoon. The UW Whitewater Warhawks down by 20 points in the third quarter. They come back and score 24 unanswered points as they come back and beat Wartburg here today, 37-33, the final in Whitewater. So the Warhawks advance to the national semifinals, and they will take on Linfield in the semifinal game next week. The other quarterfinal today, Wesley defeated Hobart 41-13, and it was Mount Union knocking off John Carroll for the second time this year. The only 2 losses the Golden Flashes suffered were to Mount Union in the regular season and in the playoffs, as the undefeated Purple Raiders knock off the Golden Flash 36-28, the final in that one from Alliance, Ohio. So Mount Union will take on Wesley in semifinal number 1, and it will be UW Whitewater taking on Linfield from out west, the Wildcats, in the other semifinal next Saturday. So congratulations to Lance Leipold and the Whitewater Warhawks coming from behind today at home to knock off a very game Wartburg. Wartburg threw for almost 400 yards today in that ball game, but still Whitewater found a way to win late, particularly in the fourth quarter, and pulling away. Took advantage of a fumble recovery and a couple of turnovers by Wartburg late in that contest to pick up the win. So it'll be Whitewater and Linfield in the one semifinal, Mount Union and Wesley in the other semifinal matchup. We'll keep tabs on women's basketball this afternoon. The Carthage Lady Reds coming off an exciting last-second win in Cedar Rapids last night over Coe College. They are in Dubuque this afternoon to take on Clark College. The Crusaders out of the NAIA. That game just tipping off as we speak, and we'll follow that ball game for you as we can here today. Starting lineups have been posted, and it goes as follows for the Calvin College Knights. They are 4-3 under head coach Kevin Vandestreek, and they will start at a guard, Austin Parks. Parks is a 6-foot, 185-pound junior out of Niles, Michigan. Jordan Daly will get a start at a guard. Daly is a 6'3", 190-pound junior out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. The forward will be Tyler Dykstra. Dykstra, 6'9", 200-pound senior from Zeeland, Michigan, prepped at Holland Christian Academy. Daniel Stout will be the center, 6'9", 230, a senior from Escondido, California. And at guard, the preseason Division III preseason All-America candidate Jordan Brink. Brink, a senior, 6'3", out of Dyer, Indiana. He is averaging 20 points per game. He is the leading scorer on this Calvin team. So it'll be Parks, Brink, and Daly at the guards, Dykstra and Stout underneath for head coach Kevin Vandestreek. The Calvin Knights 4-3 on the season, ranked 19th in this week's edition of the D3Hoops.com Top 25. They have lost 2 straight coming into the contest here today. For the Carthage College Redmen, it's a familiar starting lineup. Mike Keltson, the sophomore, gets things going tonight. 6'3", 180, a sophomore from Bloomingdale, Illinois. Leading scorer in the ball game last night with 15 points. Reese Hirth at a guard, 6'2", 170, a senior out of Morton Grove, Illinois. Hirth struggled last night, 1 for 10 from the floor, finished with 5 points. Dante Logan will man the point guard position, 5'11", 160, a senior out of Evanston, Illinois. Cameron Van Wyk will play forward, 6'6", 185, the senior out of Wassenaar, Netherlands. And Mike Castell at center, 6'7", 235, the senior out of St. Charles, Illinois. Bosco Jurikovic, 300 wins as a Carthage College coach, 496 wins to his credit in his combined years with Carthage and those great North Park teams of yore. So it should be an exciting matchup here today between these two schools. It's always a great matchup with Calvin. These two teams getting together and locked into this tournament the last couple of years. Knights lead the all-time series with the Redmen 5-4, with all of the meetings coming in this particular tournament. The two teams first met in 2004, and Carthage has won 3 of the last 4, but lost last year's game 74-68 up at Calvin's spacious Van Noort Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So Redmen have had some mediocre success here of late, 3 of 4, so you would think Carthage a little bit of confidence coming in, and I think again too, having played last night and erased the memories of how that game went down, getting back on the floor quickly will help the Redmen here today. So Redmen will have this one today, and then they will take this week off. They'll have a limited practice schedule this week with finals Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Redmen return to the court here at the Tarble Arena on Saturday, hosting Lake Forest, and then they'll have an extended break through Christmas. They would not play again after a week from Saturday until December 31st, when they'll face UW Oshkosh in Oshkosh on a New Year's Eve afternoon tilt. And then it's into the frying pan as far as the CCIW is concerned, as you will host the number 1 ranked team in the nation, Augustana, on your conference opener on January the 3rd. It's good to see the football program here today. A large contingent of recruits coming through the building today. Mike Yeager's staff working overtime, trying to reload that football program, and chance to visit a little bit with Mike, and congratulations to Mike Yeager and his wife on the birth of their 3rd child this past week, and wish Mike and his wife all the best, as got 3 kids under the age of 5 now. Boy, oh boy. I guess being a head coach of a college team can help you in that sense, right? Trying to herd 110 kids through a program. I think he can handle 3 under the age of 5, if you ask me, but no, congratulations to Mike and on the new addition to the family this past week. So it'll be Redmen and Calvin here, Game 2. Game 1 went by way of Hope today, 66-55 over Wheaton College, dropping the Thunder now to 5-3 on the year. Hope getting 3 three players in double figures, led by Ben Gardner's 14. Wheaton getting Riley Tischer with 12, Braden Tischer with 11, and Braden Tischer held to just 1 point in the second half in that ball game against Hope earlier this afternoon. So we're just about set for the starting lineups of our ball game here this afternoon. The Tarble Arena, Kenosha, Wisconsin, the site of our ball game. The Redmen and Calvin College. We turn things over to Adam King, the PA announcer here at the Tarble Arena.
Student athletes, coaches, and spectators, we request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. The NCAA, the CCIW, and Carthage thank you for your cooperation. And now for the starting lineups for today's game between the Calvin College Knights with a record of 4-3 and your Carthage Redmen with a record of 3-4. Let's meet the Calvin College Knights. A 6-foot junior guard out of Niles, Michigan, number 10, Austin Parks. A 6'3 senior guard out of Dyer, Indiana, number 12, Jordan Brink. A 6'9 senior forward out of Zeeland, Michigan, number 32, Tyler Dykstra. A 6'3 junior guard out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, number 34, Jordan Daly. And a 6'9 senior center out of Escondido, California, number 40, Daniel Stout. The head coach for the Knights is Kevin Vandestreek. He's assisted by Tim Van Dyke, Jeff Crochelle, and Peter Zigerman. Are you ready? And now let's be the starting lineup for your Carthage Redmen. A 4 to 6'6 senior from Wassenaar, Netherlands, number 22, Cameron Van White. Guard at 6'3 sophomore from Bloomingdale, Illinois, wearing number 10, Mike Kelson. At center, a 6'8 senior from St. Charles, Illinois, wearing number 40, Mike Costell. At guard, a 5'11 senior from Evanston, Illinois, number 21, Dante Logan. And at guard, a 6'2 senior from Morton Grove, Illinois, wearing number 15, Weiser. Your resident coach by Bosco Jerichovic. He's assisted by Steve Jerichovic, Quincy French, Jose Garcia, and Andy Atkins.
We're set for the tip-off this afternoon. Carthage and Calvin, our officials on the whistle today. John Hodel, David King, and the finely tanned Ken Faulkner. Calvin wearing the white jerseys, white shorts trimmed out with the maroon lettering and maroon numerals. Carthage in the red jerseys, red shorts trimmed out in black and white lettering and numerals. Mike Costell will jump center for the Redmen against Daniel Stout for Calvin. Kenny Faulkner set to toss this one up. And we are underway. The Redmen winning the opening tap. They'll go left to right as we view it here from the beautiful Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Dante Logan slides off to the right. Man-to-man defense employed here by Calvin early on. Over the top feed. Van Wyk down low to Costell. Had it knocked away that time and out of bounds by Daniel Stout. Redmen will retain possession underneath. Looking for that quick over the top, as we've seen so many times with this Redmen offense. Carthage will get it in quickly. Logan working around to Kelson. Kelson with 15 points last night, the leading scorer for the Redmen. Works the ball on the left wing. He is guarded heavily by Austin Parks. Trying to get it back to Logan. Logan able to free himself up, fire up a shot. That's no good. Long rebound out to the free throw line. Battle for by Kelson and Brink Comes away with it. Brink will set it up now offensively. Redmond in a man-to-man defense here to start things out on the defensive end. Brink will pull up out of the corner. That one scrawls off the rim, no good. Logan with the rebound. He'll push it up across midcourt. Logan off to Hurth. Hurth, free throw line jumper. That's short. Fadeaway shot that time, and it came up barely drawing iron. The rebound by Brink clears it down the floor to Daly. Back to Brink. Brink circles around the screen, taken by Stout. Brink all the way around to the right side again. Skips off the rim. His shot missing, and the rebound pulled in by Castell. Off to Logan, now to Keltson. Minute gone by, still looking for our first points. Van Wyck underneath, waits for traffic, count it! And one upcoming for Cameron Van Wyck. He got that pass down low from Logan on the right block, waited for the defense to close, and then went up and drew the foul, and he'll go to the line to complete the three-point play. Fouls on Tyler Dykstra. And Van Wyck missing on the free throw. Remains 2-0 Redmond, just underway here at the Tarble Arena. Parks will handle it on the point. Worked over by Logan. Try to get it to Brink. Stolen away by Hurth. Hurth down the floor. He'll take it all the way. Lay it up and in. Reese Hurth with cat-like quickness jumping in front of Jordan Brink that time to intercept that pass and take it the other way for the layup. 4-0 Redmond. Parks now underneath the Brink. Brink will lay it up and make it. Tapped around the rim a couple of times, but it fell in for Jordan Brink. 4-2, Redmond doubling up on Calvin, 2 minutes in. Van Wyck back out to Logan, pull-up jumper right of the free throw line, that's good. Dante Logan shooting up and over Austin Parks that time, able to knock that one down. 6-2, Redmond up by 4. Daly now works it off to Dykstra. Up top, the big man, Stout, will take it and hit. Daniel Stout, not afraid to shoot that basketball, took it from the top of the circle. And able to knock down that jumper. Pulls his night team to within 2. 6-4 Redmond. Keltson now to Van Wyck underneath to Castell. A little fadeaway shot off the glass, no good. Kept alive by Hurth. And Hurth's going to be called for the foul going over the back. Was screened out that time underneath, and Hurth trying to fly over the Calvin Knight player. Brad Visser will check in. Visser, a 6'3 sophomore out of Grand Rapids, and also in Connor Vanderbrug. Vanderbrug, a 6'7 freshman out of Elmhurst. 6-4, Redmond by 2. Brink slides it off. Inside it goes Vanderbrug. Back out on the drive. Pull up Dykstra. Back outside it'll go. He'll hit. Vanderbrug with the jumper off the left of the free throw line. Able to tie this game at 6. Logan will bring it down and set it up to Van Wyck, top of the circle. Right of the free throw line is Logan. Drives, now kicks back out. Hurth open 3, left side. That hit off the heel of the rim, kept alive by Van Wyck, hauled down by Castell. Castell bumped, and they're going to call travel. Said he moved the feet before he took the contact, said Ken Faulkner, and so the traveling call on Mike Castell. Turnover by the Redmen, their first of the ball game. Game tied at 6. We're 3.5 minutes in at the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. John Weiser reporting. He's on the drive. Losing it on the way to the basket was Visser. We got a held ball tied up by Castell and Visser. And it's going to be Calvin basketball. So alternate possession arrow will go Calvin's way here. 21 on the shot clock. They get it into Brink. Jordan Brink drives the lane, lost it. Fell off behind him, and it was picked up by Vanderbrug, and Vanderbrug able to pick it up and take it to the basket and lay it in. 4 points for Vanderbrug. Calvin's first lead of the ball game, 8-6. Comes just ahead of 4 minutes gone by. Logan again able to drive the basket and lay it up and in. They let him go on the switch off that time, and they were late coming up with the switch, and that allowed Logan, who was standing high on the right side, able to drive it right to the rim and lay it up and in. 4 points for Dante Logan. Game tied at 8. Vanderbrug from outside missing. Keltson trying to go for the rebound, and he was fouled. Jordan Daly. Daly picking up the foul, his first.
Returning to the Calvin
Daly will check out. Daniel Stout will come in. So you got Stout and Vanderbrug in there now underneath at 6'9" and 6'7" for Calvin. Hirth will slide it off to Keltson. Keltson, top of the circle. He'll fire and hit. Mike Keltson for 3, top of the circle. He's not afraid to put that ball up. Keltson last night, a couple of three-pointers. 11-8, Redmond by 3. Get more of Keltson here. I think the teams more and more take away Reese Hirth. Keltson's going to shine here. Miss on the shot that time by Brink, and it's picked back up. He'll try and take it out. Falls down. Able to pick it up and to retrieve it to Stout. 20 to shoot here, and it's Keltson breaking up that pass. Keltson will take the breakaway. He'll take it down and lay it up and in. Mike Keltson will lay it up and in off the steal. And the bucket the other way. Keltson with 5 points here in this first half. 13-8, largest lead for the Redmen now at 5. With it is Daly. Daly working on Hirth, and it was stripped out by Logan on the double team. Logan with the breakout. Logan will take it coast to coast and lay it up and in. And a timeout taken by Calvin. Now the Redmen with 7 quick ones to take a 7-point lead. 15-8, 14:26 to go, and a timeout taken by the Calvin Knights. I was just saying, Mike Keltson, I think, is going to be the beneficiary of teams trying to take away Reese Hirth. As long as Keltson continues to score, that's going to force teams to quit double-teaming Reese Hirth and return to defending Keltson. You can't allow Keltson. You're going to have to honor his shot from the outside as well as his ability to take the ball inside. Same with Dante Logan. Logan being very aggressive here early on with 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting. He's been able to take the ball to the basket. I think that's another thing that the coaching staff for the Redmen have wanted Logan to do. While being a point guard, yes, his first ability is to distribute the basketball, but when he's got a seam to take the ball to the basket, Logan's got to hit those seams and take the ball with authority to at least to the rim and draw the foul. 15-8, Redmond on a 7-0 run here as Calvin will bring it in full length. Michael Welch in there now, a 6'8 sophomore for the Knights. Vanderbrug missing the shot. Castell able to get the board and clear it out to Keltson. Keltson down to Reese Hirth. Hirth now pulls up in the paint and hits. A 9-0 run here for the Redmen. And they've opened up a 9-point lead, 17-8 Carthage. 13:50 to go here in the first half. Much better looking offense here for the Redmen. Attacking the basket. 3-ball on the way and good by Vanderbrug. Connor Vanderbrug with the 3. Vanderbrug on the season now, 6 for 17 from long distance. Now Logan again driving the basket, able to lay it up and in. Castell with the assist that time. Again, they left Logan open on the left wing, and he took it right to the rim. Logan with 8 first half points. Now Stout pulls it out, now gets it back in. Turns, faces Castell on the right block, and Castell with the body block on Stout's trip to the basket. And the foul will go on Castell, his first. Team fouls even at 2 apiece. Vanderbrug will come out, Dykstra back in. Also Brink will check back in, replacing Daly for the Knights. Calvin will inbound right to the basket. They get it right to Jordan Brink in the right corner. They take it back up top into the hands of Michael Welch. Now Parks flips it down low and able to finish is Daniel Stout. Stout down low with the finish. Stout with 4 points. He's 2 for 2 from the floor. 19-13 again. Logan to the basket, penetrates, skip past left corner Hirth. He'll drive in, draws the foul. Logan that time had the option to take it right to the rim and finish. Instead, he got to the paint and then dished it out to the left corner to Hirth. And allowed Hirth to drive in and try and attack the basket that time, and that'll put Hirth on the free throw line. Reese, free throw missing. Dykstra picking up that last foul for Calvin. Number 32, Scott McNellis will check in now for the Redmen, replacing Mike Castell. McNellis, the sophomore from Downers Grove, Illinois. Earth comes up empty on both. Rebound Brink. 19-13 Redmond. 12:40 to go here in our first half. Brink will give it off to Parks, and we got offensive foul. They're going to call it on Parks, clearing out with the chicken wing that time, trying to relieve Hurth of his defensive pressure. Fourth foul on Calvin. Carthage will inbound at three-quarter court. Redmond up by 6 here. Hurth up top to McNellis. Between the circles. Gives it off to Logan. Logan surveying the defense here. Man-to-man defense. They switch up. That leaves McNellis open for 3. That one clanks off no good. Van Wyk with the offensive board. Redmond will reload here as Logan will back it off on the left wing. 19-13, Carthage with the lead. 8 minutes into our contest here this afternoon. McNellis, middle of the floor, reversing left side to Logan, high in the left wing. Logan guarded by Parks. Keltson with a ball fake, takes the dribble. Cut off there by the big man, Stout. 12 on the shot clock now for Logan. Logan to the free throw line, back to Keltson, open 3. That one rattles out, no good, didn't follow it in. And the long rebound picked up by Parks. Back come the Calvin Knights. Parks with it. Gets away from Van Wyk, up top to Stout. Now driving in off the left corner and throwing it down with authority, Tyler Dykstra. Coming out of the right corner with a right-hand dunk is Dykstra for his first 2, and the Knights back to within 4, 19-15. Now Logan sets it up high on the right. Gets it to Keltson. Keltson driving on the big man Stout, lost control of it momentarily, kicks it back out to McNellis. Over to Logan right side, now left corner it goes. Keltson for 3 again, that's a back iron miss. Hurth trying to battle for the rebound, was tackled, no call. And a loose ball picked up by Daniel Stout. Stout down the floor quickly underneath to Dykstra, and they save it from going out. They get it back. Dykstra takes the shot, no good from right below us. And the air ball miss picked up by Logan. Logan will settle it down now. His team up by 4. 10:35 to go here first half. Logan again through the paint. Slides it off to McNellis. McNellis lost it out of bounds. Got double teamed that time between Parks and Dykstra. McNellis coughed it up in the corner. Sean Valentine will check in now for the Redmond. Valentine, the 6'4 junior out of Cary, Illinois. He will replace Reese Hurth here. Calvin with a chance to trim it to 2 or less here. Big man Vanderbrug handling the basketball. Now gets it back underneath, going over McNellis. High off the glass, missing, got his own rebound, and the stick back goes down. The advantage of that height that time, Vanderbrug at 6'7", going over McNellis, who's 6'5". That extra 2 inches, the difference there on the offensive board. 19-17, Calvin to within 2, under 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Logan will back it off, gets it to Keltson. Keltson for 3, that's no good. He's missed his last 3 three-point attempts. Back the other way comes Calvin, a chance to tie or take the lead. It's Brink for 3, got it, and Calvin retakes the lead. Timeout, Redmond. Redmond will take a 30-second timeout. Comes with 9:39 remaining here in this first half. And Calvin claiming their lead here by 1. Their second lead of the afternoon, 20-19. Live broadcast of Carthage College athletic events made possible in part by these great corporate partners in Carthage athletics. Lee and Betty Armagost, class of 1958. Lou Perini's Gas and Groceries on the corner of 52nd Street and Sheridan Road in Kenosha. And by Rust-Oleum of Kenosha. Redmond 52%, 9 of 17 from the floor. Calvin 56%, 9 of 16. Calvin out rebounding the Redmond 10-7 so far through the first 10 minutes of our contest. Van Wyk, Valentine, Keltson, Logan, and McNellis out there for the Redmond. Welch and Daly along with Brink. And Vanderbrug out there as well for Calvin. Keltson now pulls up, free throw line jumper. That one goes down. Mike Keltson finally finding the range. Keltson now with 7. Missed his last 3 3-point shots, that time a little closer from the free throw line. Gives the Redmen a 1-point lead, 21-20. Brink pulls up top of the circle. That rattles off, no good. McNellis with a big board for the Redmen. Hands it off to Logan across midcourt. Logan gives it back to Keltson. It's back to Logan here. Little 2-3 zone look here. Little matchup zone. As they kick it back off. Valentine open look off the right wing. That skips off no good. Van Wyk keeps it alive as Keltson pulls it down. It's 3 times now Van Wyk on the offensive glass. Now McNellis, 18-footer off the right baseline. That one's no good. The rebound scooped up by Welch. The 6'8 center for Calvin gets it off to Tony Canoni. Canoni with it now. Off to Brink. Brink pulls up, free throw line jumper. Good for the preseason All-American Jordan Brink. Brink averaging 20 points per game. He's got 7 here. 22-21 Calvin. Clock approaching 8:10 remaining here in the first half. Van Wyk going through the left baseline. Lost control of it. Valentine diving on the floor. Held ball. Possession arrow to the Redmen. Mike Castell will check back in for the Redmen. Also in for Calvin, Parks, Visser, and Dykstra checking back in for Calvin. 8:04 to play, first half. 22-21, Calvin with the lead. Each team shooting better than 50% thus far. Redmen will reload offensively here. 20 to shoot as they get in, and McNellis to Keltson. Keltson will drive the basket. Tried to dish it back to Castell over his head, picked up by McNellis. Back out to Logan on the left wing with 8 on the shot clock here. Logan pulls up, now kicks it back out. McNellis for 3, drops it in. Shot clock down to 2, and Scott McNellis drains the triple. And Redmen back up by 2, 24-22. Again, set by that jab step penetration by Logan. And then we got a traveling violation as turning it over the Calvin Knights. A little maintenance done to Mike Castell. He's wearing a little pad over that left hamstring, and that came undone, so I had to get that fixed. So now everybody's set. Redmen will inbound. Leading by 2 here, 7.5 minutes to play, first half. Logan below the three-point arc on the right side, kicks it back out to Valentine. Valentine on his slide to the basket, drew the foul. Danny Leach just into the contest. Picks up the foul. He's a 6'1 sophomore. 15th foul on Calvin. Carthage will inbound, free throw line extended, far side in front of the Calvin bench. Redmen up 24-22. Logan now penetrates to the baseline, cut off by the big man, kicks it out to Valentine, left corner 3 is good. Sean Valentine hits the triple out of the left corner, again set up by the penetration from Logan. That left Valentine all alone on the left corner, able to drop it in. 27-22. Redmen on a 6-0 run here. Inside it goes. They drop it over the top. Daly turnaround shot rejected by Castell. Saved by McNellis, but right back into the hands of Dykstra. And then it's bobbled through his hands. He gave it up. Picked up by McNellis once again. Off to Logan. Good hustle by the Redmen. Keltson now down the left side. Gives it off to Valentine. Up top to Logan between the circles. Drifts off right side with the dribble. Logan again driving the basket. Penetrates. Skip pass. Keltson open 3. Bucket! Mike Keltson for 3. Off the top of the circle, again set up by the penetration offense by Dante Logan. And just as quickly, the Redmen back up by 8. A 9-0 run for Carthage, 30-22 Redmen. Now they will slide it off here on the left wing. Daniel Stout with it, the big man handling the basketball. Over to Parks for 3, right side, good. Logan late to get in front of Austin Parks. He had time to eye that one up and drops it in. First points of the game for Austin Parks. 30-25, Redmen by 5, 5:45 to go in the half. McNellis between the rings, looking for some help. Dishes it off to Logan right side. Logan high on the right, now takes the dribble. Again, gets past the big man, skip pass into the corner. Keltson from the left side, that one skips off no good. Rebound, and it went off of Castell, out of bounds to Calvin. Miles Olson will check in for Dante Logan for the Redmen, the junior out of East Troy, Wisconsin. Jordan Brink will check back in, replacing Danny Leach for the Calvin Knights, who trail by 5 here, going to the final 5 minutes of our first half. Much better half of play here for the Redmen, attacking the basket, penetrating with the dribble, something Calvin has had trouble with in the past with these Redmen teams. They dump it inside and low left. Connor Vanderbrug able to lay it up and over Castell. Vanderbrug now with 11. 30-27. Carthage by 3. Valentine cut off the dribble at the right block, kicks it back out to Olson. Olson will take the dribble out to the center circle. Working on Parks, cleared Parks, now gets it off to McNellis. He'll pump the 3 and hits Scott McNellis for 3 off the top of the circle. McNellis having quite a half off the bench. He's got 6. And the Redmen back up by 6. 4.5 minutes to play first half. Dykstra with it. Again, gets it down low, works it on Vanderbrug. Spin shot, draws the foul, and he'll go to the line. Fouls on Castell, his second. Just the third team foul on the Redmen, and this will put Connor Vanderbrug at the free throw line for the Calvin Knights. Vanderbrug 67% from the stripe this year, misses the front end.
Returning for the Knights, number 40, Stout, number 34, Daly. Returning to your right line, number 15, Reese Hurth.
Hurth will check back in for the Redmen. Vanderbrug with one more. That one nearly flat, just barely clears the rim and gets down for Vanderbrug. 12 points for Vanderbrug. His team trails by 5, 33-28 Redmen. Olson now high in the left wing, gets it up top to Hurth. Hurth now top of the circle, off to Valentine, back up to Olson. And stretch this one more minute or so here with Logan on the bench here getting a breather. They can stretch this out a little bit. Valentine off-balance shot missing, tapped up by Castell, no, and the rebound cleared out of there by the big man Vanderbrug. Back the other way comes Calvin. Inside it goes Vanderbrug. Turnaround shot with the right hand, going glass, missing. Battle for the loose ball underneath. Castell had it and was fouled as he was held onto that time and pulled down by Daniel Stout for Calvin. Let's hope Castell's okay. That's the first on Stout and the 6th on Calvin. 33-28 Redmen. 3.5 minutes to go here in our first half. Hurth pops for 3. That one's short. The battle for the loose ball inside. They're going to call the foul on Castell. Holding inside on Stout. That's 3 on Mike Castell. He fouled out of last night's ball game midway through the second half, and he'll sit down now with 3 personal fouls. Cameron Van Wyk will check back in for Castell. 33-28 Redmen. Carthage is led by as many as 9 here in the first half. Kelvin has had 2 different leads, as many as 2. We got a Miles Olson with a reach foul that time. Trying to deny Parks his dribble drive. 15 foul on the Redmen. Kelvin will inbound in front of the Redmen bench. Parks with it. Sets it up on the right wing. Gets it to the big man, Stout. Handling it outside the arc is Stout in front of Van Wyk. Now to Brink. Back to Stout. Working the perimeter. Carthage doing a nice job here. Shot clock down to 13. Brink with it now, facing the basket in the right corner on Hurth. Pulls up on Hurth and hits. Jordan Brink pulling up on Reese Hurth that time. 9 first half points for Brink. Calvin back to within 3, 33-30. Olsen will set it up offensively for the Redmen. Hurth driving the basket right side, lays it up and in with the left hand. Reese Hurth able to get a space to the lane that time, driving in from the right side. 6 points for Reese Hurth. Brink again able to penetrate, this time skip pass back up top. The big man will take the 3, Vanderbrug, and hits. That's 2 3-pointers for the big man Vanderbrug, both from the same spot in the floor, top of the circle. Calvin back to within 2. 15 first half points for Vanderbrug. 35-33. Valentine now works it off to Reese Hurth. Through the top of the circle, tried to force it inside to Van Wyk. He was double teamed and it was taken away by Brink. Jordan Brink working on Hurth. Dumps it back, Vanderbrug again for 3. That one barely drew iron. Brink able to save it and throw it off the back of Reese Hurth. Out of bounds to the Calvin Knights with 1:41 remaining. Michael Welch will check back in, replacing Vanderbrug. Vanderbrug with 15 first half points, including a pair of 3-pointers. Valentine will come out. McNellis back in, as is Keltson for the Redmen. Off the inbound, they get it to Brink, and he hits off the inbound feed and ties the game at 35. Jordan Brink now in double figures with 11. 5 for 7 from the floor so far. Keltson now, high on the left side. Works it back to Logan. Logan left to the free throw line, backs it off. 13 to shoot here, minute 13 to go in the half. Logan has Van Wyk, didn't see him. Now gets it out to McNellis for 3. McNellis, that one skips off, no good. Brink able to knife his way in for another rebound, his 5th of the ball game. Calvin will set it up, under a minute to go now in the first half. Chance to retake the lead here. Brink will pull up for 3, and that one comes out no. Rebound knocked out of the hands of Daniel Stout by Van Wyk. Calvin will keep possession underneath with 48 seconds to play. Quick hands by Van Wyk to knock that one away, which would have been a sure basket. Now Parks with it off the inbound. Had it nearly taken away by Logan. Parks gets it back now. Back up top to Welch. Now they get it off to Brink. 21 to shoot, 34 on the game clock. Brink able to get past Keltson, bumps into Keltson and draws the foul. Jordan Brink, as he's done so well throughout his career, able to create space with the dribble, got his man off balance. This time it was Keltson, and able to draw the foul. First foul on Keltson, 6th on the Redmen, and Jordan Brink, Mr. Automatic at the free throw line here for the Calvin Knights. Brink 95% from the line. He's now 22 of 23 from the stripe this season. Averaging better than 20 points per game, almost 6 boards per contest, doling out 4 assists per game. Hits both. 2 for 2 that trip. Calvin with a 2-point lead, their largest. Third time they've held the lead here. Shot clock dark. Redmond will play it for 1 here as Logan will set it up at the center circle. 16 seconds to go in the half. Logan just beating out a rhythmic dribble at the center circle. Now we'll go into the motion. We'll drive. Kick out to Hurth, and it was behind Hurth. Thrown away. Turnover, Redmond. Ouch. Just the 4th turn by the Redmen here in the half, and it was a costly one. 3.8 seconds to go here, and Calvin with an opportunity to increase their lead. They'll get it to Brink. Watch for Brink to pump for 3. He does, and it honeycombs out at the horn. Somehow got off a rolling one-hander off the right side. But it does not go down, and Calvin will take a 2-point lead into the locker room here after the first 20 minutes. Saw Redmond with a 9-point lead as late as 6 minutes into this contest, but Calvin comes back to take a 2-point lead here at the break. Knights 37, Redmond 35. We'll pause and take a 2-minute break. Back with our halftime programming right after this. You are listening to Carthage Redmond basketball on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. Halftime here at the Tarble Arena in Kenosha with the Redmond trailing Calvin College 37-35. John Weiser back with you in our Pullman Motors broadcast booth as the Redmond broke open a close ball game midway through the first half, going on an 11-0 run to take a 17-8 lead on a Reese Hurth jumper with 6 minutes into the contest. But Calvin was able to trim it down to a 1-point game, or a 2-point game, 19-17 on a layup by Connor Vanderbrug, I should say, with that layup. 19-17 at that point with 10:09 remaining. Calvin then took the lead by 1 on a Jordan Brink three-pointer, and the teams traded baskets. Carthage was then able to pull out a 5-point advantage, 27-22 on a Sean Valentine three-point basket with 7:09 to go. And then Calvin mounted or I should say the lead increased to 8 on a three-pointer by Mike Keltson, 30-22. And then Calvin mounted a comeback. They were able to cut it to 3 on a layup by Vanderbrug, 30-27. Carthage then got 33-27. Carthage able to increase it to 6 on a Scott McNellis three-pointer. Calvin then trimmed it down to 3, 33-30 on a Jordan Brink jumper, and then tied the ball game at 35 all on another Brink jumper with just under 2 minutes to play in the first half. And Calvin took their third and final lead of the half on a pair of free throws by Brink with 30 seconds left in the contest, and that's our margin here at the break. 37-35 Calvin. Each team shot better than 50% in that first half. Carthage 15 of 29, 51%. 5 of 14 from behind the arc, 35% for the Redmond, but the Redmond 0 for 3 at the stripe thus far. Leading scorer in that first half, Mike Keltson with 10. Keltson 4 of 8 from the floor, including a pair of three-pointers in 18 minutes, finishing the half with 10 points. 8 points for Dante Logan. Logan getting some penetration on the drive to the basket, finishing 4 of 5 from the floor for his 8 points. He also doled out 4 assists in that first half. 6 points for Scott McNellis off the bench. McNellis 2 for 5, both of those three-pointers. 6 points also for Reese Hurth. Good to see him going early. 3 of 6 from the floor thus far for Hurth, missing 2 3-point shots in the process. 6 for Hurth in that first half. 3 for Sean Valentine, 2 for Cameron Van Wyk. Mike Costell and Miles Olson played, did not score for the Redmond in that first half. Again, Carthage 51% shooting on 15 of 29 from the field. For Calvin, 53% shooting, 15 of 28. They were 4 of 9 from three-point range, 44%, and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Connor Vanderbrug coming off the bench for the Knights with 15 first-half points. He was 6 of 11 from the floor, including a pair of three-pointers well behind the arc at the top of the circle, I might add, for Vanderbrug. He finished with game-high honors here in this first half with 15 points. Jordan Brink on his way to another 20-point performance. He has 13 in the first half on 5 of 9 shooting. That includes a three-pointer. He was very active. Has yet to hand out an assist, but 13 points, and is the team's leading rebounder with 5. 4 points for Daniel Stout, 3 points for Austin Parks, 2 points for Tyler Dykstra, as Leach, Visser, Cannoni, and Welch played but did not score for the Calvin Knights. The Knights out-rebound the Redmond, whopping 19-10. Carthage with just 3 offensive boards in that first half. Leading rebounder for the Redmond was Mike Costell with 4 of those 10 boards. And for the Calvin Knights, they were led by Jordan Brink with 5 rebounds in that first half. Neither team turning the ball over much. Calvin with 6 turnovers to go with 7 assists. Carthage with 4 turnovers and 6 assists in that first half. Again, the Knights shoot 53%, Carthage 51%. En route to a Calvin Knight 2-point lead here at the break, 37-35. Down in Dubuque, Iowa this afternoon, the Carthage Lady Reds are taking on Clark College. Down in Dubuque, women's basketball, second of back-to-back games for the Lady Reds. Lady Reds find themselves down 6 at the break, 31-25 to the Clark Crusaders. Aaron Quinn with 8 points to lead the way thus far for the Lady Reds. Aaron Thomas with 5. Alexis Hahn, the hero in last night's ball game, with 5 first-half points to pace the Lady Reds. So Lady Reds down 6 as they were last night in Cedar Rapids. They were trailing at the break by 9 to Co. before coming back and winning that game on a last-second shot by Alexis Hahn. But so far it's Clark leading the Lady Reds 31-25, that game at the half. NCAA Division III football this afternoon, an exciting finish in Whitewater as the Warhawks come from behind. They were down 33-16 at one point. They come back and score 21 unanswered as they come back to beat Wartburg today, 37-33. The final, Whitewater advancing to the Division III semifinals next week. They will take on Linfield out of the Oregon area, 45-7 the final, the Wildcats over Widener today. So it'll be Whitewater and Linfield in one semifinal matchup. The other half of the purple bracket will feature the Purple Raiders of Mount Union. They defeated the John Carroll Golden Flash today, 36-28 the final in that one. The Purple Raiders will move on to face Wesley College, who defeated Hobart today, 41-13. So it'll be Wesley and Mount Union, along with Linfield and UW Whitewater, the semifinalists in Division III football, going on next Saturday. Division III top 25 men's basketball this afternoon. A couple of intriguing matchups going on in the D3 Hoops top 25 today. And one of those top 25 matchups featured number 18 DePauw taking on number 10 Worcester, and Worcester defeated DePauw today in Greencastle. The final in that one, 76-63. A couple other games that have gone final in the top 25. 13th ranked WPI over Fitchburg State, 75-61. Number 14 Ohio Wesleyan at home by 2 over Denison today, 76-74. Halftime, big battle in Minneapolis as St. Thomas, number 5 Tommies, taking on St. John's, and it's the Johnnies over the Tommies so far, 35-34, that game at the half. Augustana in action tonight. They are in the CCIW hosting Fontbonne today. That'll tip off at 7 o'clock tonight down at Carver Center. And Illinois Wesleyan in action later on this afternoon. They will take on number 17 Chicago. Another intriguing top 25 matchup involving teams from the CCIW. Earlier this afternoon, it was Hope defeating Calvin 66-55 here in the game preceding us. Hope now at 3-3 on the year. Wheaton with the loss falls to 5-3 on the season. It was Ben Gardner with 14, Alex Edson with 12, and Harrison Blackledge, the son of Todd Blackledge, picking up 11 points in the contest for Hope. It was the Tischer brothers, Riley and Braden, leading the way for Wheaton. Riley with 12 points, Braden with 11. What's intriguing about that, Braden Tischer held to just 1 point in the second half. Started the ball game, hit his first 2 3-point shots, and from that point on, went 1 for 8 the rest of the way, and only 1 point in the second half for Braden Tischer as Wheaton falls to Hope by a score of 66-55. We're at halftime here at the Tarble Arena in our ball game. Calvin Knights, 19th ranked Knights, leading the Carthage Redmen 37-35 through the first 20 minutes. We'll take another 2-minute break. Back with our second half action right after this on AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha. Welcome back to the Pullman Motors broadcast booth, sponsored by Pullman Motors, Highway 50 Kenosha, and Pullman of Racine on Highway 20 Racine, Wisconsin's #1 volume dealer of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. That's the power of Pullman. John Weiser with you. Glad you're along this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast wherever you may be on this seasonably cold Saturday afternoon, early December. Christmas just around the corner. Redmond in a stretch now where they'll have the week off after today's game. They'll play Lake Forest next Saturday, and then they'll have extended time off until New Year's Eve when they'll play UW Oshkosh to wrap up the pre-CCIW schedule. They'll have one more non-conference game later this year. That'll be in February against Illinois Institute of Technology. Parks, Brink, Dykstra, Daly, and Stout on the floor for the Calvin Knights. It'll be Kelson, Hirth, Logan, Van Wyck, and Castell. Castell with 3 fouls to start this second half for the Redmen. Carthage trailing by 2. Calvin will inbound to start the second half. They will go left to right as we view it here from the beautiful Tarble Arena. And we are underway, second half. Carthage trying to stay close here with the 19th ranked Knights, and ball deflects out of bounds off of Reese Hirth. Calvin will retain possession underneath the basket. Redmond see if they can maintain attacking the basket offensively. They've done a fairly decent job defensively as they got it inside that time to Daniel Stout. Van Wyck with the rebound, but then it was stolen right back. Parks for 3, drops it in. Austin Parks 3 for 3 from outside the arc. He's got 6 points, and it's or 2 for 2, I should say, from outside the three-point arc, and lead now out to 5, the largest of the game for Calvin. We're early second half. Logan top of the circle, ball faking, backs it off now on the dribble. Logan gets a Van Wyck screen right of the free throw line, cut off there, gives it back to Reese Hirth. He'll pull it back out high on the right wing. Hirth circles around, top of the circle, now penetrates, low left, drives the basket, laid it short. Castell got the rebound, got knocked to the floor. He called for the travel. Looked like he was bumped from behind when he got that rebound, and that's what caused him to fall. And they call him a travel, so they turn it over. It looked like there was contact as he came down with the ball. But the officials play on. They called it a travel. Brink will take it down the right wing. Works it up to Stout. Now in the hands of Parks. Back to Stout now, high in the left wing, guarded by Castell. Gets a screen from Dykstra. Now passes it off to Parks, high in the right wing. Give and go feed back to Stout. Penetrates to the low block. Kicks it back to the free throw line. The jumper there by Dykstra goes down. A 5-0 run to start this second half, and quickly it's a 7-point Calvin College lead. Carthage back to attacking the basket here. Mismatch there. They got the big man on Logan. See if he can take advantage of it. Instead, Logan wants to fire the ball down low at the ankles of Van Wyck, and it's taken away by Jordan Brink. Brink scooting all the way through. Last to touch it goes out of bounds. Let's see now. Officials will change the call here. Officials changed the call. They said it went out of bounds off of Brink. John Hodell going back to Calvin. And then they reversed the call here, and they said it went off of Reese Hirth. Carthage will take a timeout here. So a timeout taken by Carthage. A 7-0 run here by Calvin. So the Redmen trying to gather themselves here. They've, like I said, attacked the basket early in the ball game, and they've gotten away from that here, a little more tentative. And again, that's to the credit of Calvin. They've switched up here a little bit. Looks like they're pulling a couple of their big men up on Logan to prevent him from penetrating, forcing him to give up the basketball or continue on to the basket in some traffic rather than uncontested. We'll see how that plays out. Parks into Brink for 3. The three-pointer comes up short. Rebound pulled in by Van Wyck. To Logan, now to Hirth. Hirth running the floor. Hirth through the paint. Kicks it back out to Van Wyk. Now off to Logan high on the right. Rolls it into Castell, low right. Castell working on Vanderbrug. And the ball goes out of bounds. Deflected out by Calvin. Brink trying to save that one from going out. He took it out of bounds himself that time. Carthage maintains possession. 20 on the shot clock as Logan will trigger from left of the basket. Gets it into Van Wyk. Now off to Hirth. Hirth through the middle of the circles. Gives it off to Logan. 12 to shoot here for the Redmen. Kelson gets it off to Van Wyk. Now to Logan. 6 on the shot clock here. Carthage got to come up with something here. Logan whips it underneath the Hirth. He'll finish. Reese Hirth with a nice look inside on the feed from Dante Logan. 5th assist, and then we got a turnover on the inbound. We got a foul called on Parks. Calling him for a push as he was trying to, after he gave up the inbound, kind of gave Logan a shove to clear some space on the floor, so Parks whistled for the foul. That is his second. Carthage will get it in. Van Wyk up top. Works it off to Logan high in the right wing. Big possession here, I think, here for Carthage. Try and get their footing here in this second half. Kelson now will give it off to Logan. Again, being chased down by the big man, Dykstra. Gives it off to Hirth. Pull up 20-footer. Left side good. Reese Hirth back-to-back buckets for the Redmen. Carthage back to within 3. 42-39. Hirth now with 8 points. Up top with it is Dykstra. Gets it off to Brink. Brink jump stop in the paint. Dumps it off. Blocked by Castell. On the shot by Vanderbrug that time. Castell with his second rejection of the ball game. Daly will check back in for Austin Parks for the Calvin Knights. Knights will inbound with 17 on the shot clock. They'll inbound left of the basket. Toss it all the way up top. It's loose, picked up by Dykstra. Gets it off to Brink. Brink shoots over Hirth. That one comes up short. Van Wyk had it tipped away that time by Connor Vanderbrug. It'll be Carthage basketball. Stout will check back in, replacing Dykstra. Carthage will walk it up. Trailing by 3 here. We're early in the second half. 16:35 to play. Kelson works it around to Van Wyk. Gives it back to Kelson. Kelson top of the circle. Gave up the dribble. Needs some help. Finds Hirth on the left wing. He'll pop for 3. That one is short. The rebound pulled in by Daly. And Carthage not able to get to the boards here in this ball game. Now Hirth with a near steal. Lost it momentarily. Picked back up by Stout. Gets it back out to Dykstra. Now to Brink. Works it off to Stout. Now up top, Vanderberg for 3 and nails it. 3 3-point field goals for the 6'7" Vanderbrug. He has 18 points. Calvin back up by 6, 45-39. 15:45 to go. Boy, for a big man, he can put it in from outside. And then we got a whistle away, and what do we have? A holding call inside. Kenny Faulkner with the call. Stout picking up the foul, his first, second on Calvin. Austin Parks will check back in. He'll give a breather here to Jordan Brink. Carthage with the fresh 35 will inbound right of the basket. Van Wyk to trigger the inbound. Gets it into Logan. Logan guarded by Daly. Gets a screen from Castell. Passes off the screen to Kelson. Now back out to Hirth. Open 3. Sets his feet. Back iron no. Long rebound snared by Daniel Stout. Able to get position on Van Wyk that time. Van Wyk, though, able to get the steal and a hold by Stout as Van Wyk got the basketball away from Stout and was going to the basket, and Stout picks up the foul, his second. Third on Calvin here in the half. The Redmen will inbound right of the basket. Van Wyk to Kelson, shoots over the Van Wyk screen and banks it in. Hello. Little Saturday banking extended for Kelson that time. On the playground, you got to call those. You won't get away with that. Kelson now in double figures with 10. 45-41, Redmen down 4. We're 5 minutes into our second half. An exciting ball game here this afternoon. Having fun with this one. And a traveling call on Vanderbrug as he caught that on the top of the circle. Wanted to take that down low, but packed his bags on the way to the rim. So a traveling call turns it back over to the Redmen. Logan will bring it up. Works it off to Hirth. Reese Hirth gets around the big man. Skip pass back out to Logan. Thought about it. Reloads. Passes it off to Kelson for three. That one finds home. Oh, he's got the shooter's touch today for Kelson. Rim, backboard rim, and down off the left wing for Kelson. He has 13. 45-44. Redmond back to within one. Now Stout hands it off to Vanderbrug. You got to honor him. You can't let him stand out there. He'll shoot it. Down to Parks. Down low it goes to Daly. Daly spinning, leans in, blocked and rejected by Castell once again. Castell tangled up with Daly underneath that time. Able to clear himself. Logan now to Kelson, the hot hand. That one rims out. No. Offensive board couldn't go for Van Wyck. And then Castell was pushed from behind as he cleared that rebound. And let's see who the foul is on. It's going to go on Kelvin. It'll be on Stout. That's his third. 3 on Stout, all coming here early in the second half. And Stout now in some foul trouble with 3. But how about Mike Kelson's play here? Kelson doing an outstanding job. Good offensive board off his miss, and the bank off the top of the circle. Shot of the game right there for Mike Kelson. We're watching it on replay here on the video stream. And again, you can watch all the video stream of all Carthage home athletic events. Carthage.edu/media will take you to the page, and it has our links for all of our live streams, including tonight's Christmas show. You'll be able to catch that one on the live video stream this evening. 6 minutes into our second half. Redmond trail by 1. Kelvin 45, Carthage 44. Calvin still shooting at a 51% clip. Carthage at 49%. As the Redmen inbound. Chance to get the lead here on this possession. Trailed by as many as 7 here in the second half. Logan will back it out near the center stripe. Works the dribble. Slides it on over to the left side now. The near side. Now on the drive. Kicks it back to Hirth. Hirth clears some space. Fires and hits. Going over the big man. Connor Vanderbrug. And the Redmen take the lead, 46-45. 13 and a half minutes to go. Down 7 here, and the Redmen nearly get a steal from Reese Hirth, as it was knocked out of bounds by Hirth right in the bench area of the Calvin Knights. Knights get it in quickly. Parks with it. Works it off high on the right wing. Parks now to the free throw line. Kicks it off to Daly in the left corner. Back underneath. And they throw it away. They were looking for Vanderbrug, trying to sneak back down the lane. And that pass, a little too much mustard on it from Daly, sails out of bounds. Another turnover here for Calvin. Calvin now with 11 turnovers. 5 of them here in the second half. Carthage with a chance to extend their 1-point lead. Van Wyck now, top of the circle. Guarded by Dykstra. Gets it off to Logan. Dante Logan up top. Back to Kelson. Kelson now. Off the right wing. Hands it off to Hirth. Hirth pull-up jumper. Going glass and hits. Reese Hirth starting to light it up here in this second half. He now has 8. Check that, 14 for Reese Hirth tonight. 15 for Kelson. The leading scorers for the Redmen, 48-45, Carthage by 3. Out of the corner, near side. Jumper is good. Alan Dykstra with the, Tyler Dykstra, I should say, with the three-pointer. Dykstra now with 7. We're tied at 48. 12:15 to play. Carthage hanging tough here with Calvin. Castell now. On the drive, through the paint, skip pass to Hirth, fake the shot to Kelson around the left side, back to Logan. Logan now, try to get it back inside to Castell, broken up and knocked out of bounds by Vanderbrug. Carthage maintains possession in the offensive end with 12 to shoot. Stout will check back in. He will replace Vanderbrug. Stout with 3 fouls here in this second half. McNellis will check in now for the Redmen. He'll replace Van Wyk. Again, the Redmen will inbound the basketball here with 12 to shoot. And into McNellis. He'll hand it back to Logan with 10 on the shot clock now. Logan with 5 to McNellis. He'll fire the 3. That one is short. Nobody home for the Redmen on the rebound. Back the other way comes Calvin, and they turn it over. Logan able to get the ball back. Bad pass by Parks. Open 3. Keltson. Air ball picked up by Castell. Kicks it back out to Hurth. Hurth now will set it up to Logan. He'll wait, and now we got a timeout taken by the Redmen. Carthage wants to slow it down here, so a timeout. Redmen will take a break as well. 11 and a half minutes remaining in this one. We're tied at 48 on AM 1050 WLIP. Redmen trailed by as many as 7 here in this second half, and they are tied here with Calvin, 48 all. 11:33 to play. John Weiser back with you from our Pullman Motors broadcast booth at the Tarble Arena. Mike Castell handles the basketball, gives it off to Keltson. Keltson leading the team in scoring today once again with 15. He's had a nice tournament here last 2 days. Now Keltson driving out of the right corner. Jump stop in the paint. Off balance. Turnaround shot is good. What a shot by Keltson there. With the defender in his face. A turnaround 10-footer from in the paint by Keltson. He has 17. 32 points in 2 games now for Keltson. 50-48, Redmen by 2. I try and get it inside. Stout battling on Castell, gets around Castell, count it, and 1. And Castell picks up foul number 4. A little too aggressive that time was Castell on the left block, trying to deny Stout on that little move, that little spin move to the basket. And Daniel Stout will go to the line to complete the 3-point play. Castell will exit now with 4 fouls. Van Wyk back into the ball game for the Redmen. And Stout completes the 3-point play. Stout with 7 points. 51-50, Kelvin back up by 1. Ellis nearly slipped there. He caught that pass, able to recover. Gets it back up top. Keltson, bounce feed to Van Wyk, lays it up and in. Nice look by Keltson. He drew the defense up near the free throw line. That freed up Van Wyk low right. Able to finish with the layup. Van Wyk with 4 points. 52-51 Redmen. 10:20 to go. Now Brink pull up. 3-pointer, good. This is where he can be dangerous. This is where he starts taking over ball games. Jordan Brink able to hit the triple. 16 on the night now for Brink. First basket of the second half for Jordan Brink. And that's why I said he becomes dangerous now. McNellis works it out of the left corner near side. Back up top it'll go to Dante Logan. Now to Keltson. Back to Reese Hurth. Backs it off high on the right wing. 10 to shoot. Hurth now to the free throw line. Leans in with the shot. Rattles off no good. Daly with the rebound for Calvin. Daly now pushing it up on the dribble. Jordan Daly. Cut off at the free throw line. Finds Stout. Stout lost it. Ball on the floor. Goes out of bounds. Off of Stout. It'll be Redmen ball. Van Wyk was there defensively. Once he put it on the floor, tried to poke it away. That cardinal sin when you're a big man. No need to put the ball on the floor. Just take it right to the basket. And Stout made the mistake of trying to dribble his way to the basket. And Van Wyk forcing that turnover. That's 6 second half turnovers by Calvin. They have 12 on the night. 54-52, Knights lead the Redmen here. 9:28 to go from the Tarble Arena. Keltson now with Valentine in the lineup now for the first time in the second half. Van Wyk works it off to Logan. Different look here for the Redmen. Keltson, Logan, Valentine, McNellis, and Van Wyk. Logan driving the basket, laid it short, tipped up and kept alive by Van Wyk, and then pulled down by Daly for Calvin. Back the other way comes Parks. He will turn and deliver. Hands it off to Canoni. Canoni driving hard. Count it. And the foul, Vanderbrug that time off the penetration move by Canoni, who fed him nicely. Vanderbrug now with 20 points. Season best for Vanderbrug here tonight. Mike Stevenson will check in, the sophomore from Wilmot High School for the Redmen. His first appearance of the ball game coming in for McNellis. And Vanderbrug at the line to complete the three-point play. And he does. Lead back up to 5 now for Calvin, 57-52. Redmond had tied this one up at 48 all, but an 8-2 run here by Calvin. They've opened up a 4-point, or make it a 5-point lead. Valentine to Keltson, raising up. Now gives it off to Logan high on the right. Logan now penetrates to the right block, cut off there by Daly. Gave up the dribble, needs some help, finds Keltson. Then we got to go back to attacking the basket here. Keltson for 3. That one rattles off, no good. Loose ball inside, taken away by Parks. Parks will lead the break the other way. They'll bounce feed to Daly, sneaks in the back door, lays it up and in. Jordan Daly with the layup off the right side. A lead out to 7 now for Calvin, 59-52. Keltson now driving the basket, penetrates, draws the foul. No, they call offensive foul. Thought the man was in the halo there. Taking the charge that time was Vanderbrug. I thought he was dug in on the halo. Take another look. No, he was in front of the halo. That was a good call, actually. Looked like he got the feet set just outside the halo, his heels outside the halo. Watching the replay here, so he takes the charge. And so Calvin now in control, leading by 7 with the ball, under 8 minutes to play. But we get an offensive foul on the chicken wing, second time tonight. Parks has been called for the clear out with the left hand on Logan. Parks his third. 15 foul on Calvin. Stevenson now gives it off to Logan. Logan high on the left. Gives it back to Hurth. Hurth for 3 over Parks. That rattles out, no good. Stevenson fighting hard. Gets the rebound. Got knocked to the floor and was fouled. Offensive board that time for Stevenson. Brink picks up the foul, his first. That's the 6th on Calvin. Last one before the Redmen hit the free throw line here. Stevenson will trigger the inbound left of the basket. Gets it to Hurth. Back inside to Stevenson and was fouled. Good look that time by Hurth. Stevenson hit on the arm as he was going up low right. Parks picks up his 4th. That'll be the 7th team foul.
Stevenson at your Redmen line.
So I'll put Mike Stevenson, the sophomore from Wilmot, on the line, and he drops in the free throw. Canoni checks back in, replacing Parks. And Stevenson hits both free throws for the Redmen. 2 for 2 at the line is Stevenson, 59-54. Redmond down 5, 7:30 to go. Daly now, high on the right. Dumps it down low. Got a whistle and a foul. Stevenson with the body that time, and Vanderbrug trying to deny him possession on the left block. 4th team foul on the Redmen here in the second half. Calvin gets it inbounds, and then they lose it. Coughing it up is Tony Canoni, losing it out of bounds. 7th turnover of the half, 13th of the night here for Calvin. Stout will come in to replace Vanderbrug. Carthage will bring it down, trailing 5 here. 7:22 remaining. They've been looking for a split in this tournament, looking to win their 4th in the last 5 times against Calvin. Hurth pull up 18-footer to right side, no. Rebound Valentine. He'll reload to Hurth. He'll hand it off to Logan. Another offensive board for Carthage. They've done a pretty good job tonight. even distribution. 20 rebounds, 10 on each end for the Redmen. Much better job on the glass tonight. A consistently better job, let's put it that way. Logan, pull up, 16-footer and hits. Logan, a little crossover dribble, lulled Dykstra to sleep, and then Dykstra sagged off, and Logan shot up and over him for the bucket. Dante Logan now with 10 points. 59-56. We got a hand check foul as with the basketball, Jordan Brink fouled that time by Reese Hirth. Hirth picking up his second, the 5th on the Redmen. Vanderbrug back in now for the Calvin Knights. Brink will handle it across midcourt. Jordan Brink on the drive, stops at the block, gives it off to Canoni. Back up top to Daly. Daly on the left wing, guarded by Valentine. Daly now. And we got a palming violation. Another turnover for Calvin. 16 on the night. If I do the math right, that's 10 here in the second half by Calvin. Redmond with a chance to cut it to 1 or tie it here with a triple. Logan tried to force it into Hirth, and it's stolen away by Canoni. He'll lead the break the other way. Canoni to Vanderbrug. He'll lay it in. Costly turnover there between Hirth and Logan, and that led to points the other way. 61-56. Calvin up 5 here, under 6 minutes to play. Stevenson now works it off to Logan. Daly working on him, gets it to Van Wyk. Turnaround off the right block. That's off the heel, no good. Kept alive by Stevenson, though, as he was able to strip Vanderbrug of the rebound. Some good minutes here by Mike Stevenson. Active here in his short appearance. Hirth now slides off the screen by Van Wyk, gives it back to Stevenson for a 3. That one rattles out, no. Valentine able to get the rebound. Back to Stevenson, charging the basket, and was fouled. Good set here for the Redmen. A couple of offensive rebounds on this possession, and Stevenson, trailing the play, was able to draw the foul on his way to the basket. He'll get 2 out of it. The foul will go on Vanderbrug. That's his first. 8th team foul now on the Knights, and Stevenson at the line, where he is now 3 for 3 tonight. Stevenson, a first team All-Southern Lakes his senior year. Was a Kenosha News first team All-Kenosha County selection as well in his senior season with Wilmot. He is 4 for 4 from the line. All 4 points here in the second half, pulls his team to within 3, 61-58. Now Brink, hand check on Keltson. Keltson with the body, and that's 6. That's the last one to give there. Next foul will put Calvin at the free throw line. So I said now look for Brink to start to take over this game. He's got 16 points. He's their go-to guy down the stretch, although Vanderbrug has had a fine ball game tonight too. 23, Brink on the drive, count it, and 1. As I said, Jordan Brink, first team All-MIAA and All-Region last year. A preseason D3 Hoops All-America selection, and he makes the basket and goes to the line to complete the three-point play. Keltson committing the foul. And the free throw by Brink is good. Welch will come in and Stout will come in, replacing Daly and Vanderbrug. 64-58, Calvin College. 5 minutes to go. Logan down the floor, gets it back to Stevenson. Stevenson up top to Van Wyk. Gets it around to Valentine. Valentine back to Keltson. Keltson on the dribble to the top of the circle. Dishes left wing. Valentine now finds Van Wyk. Left of the free throw line, hands it off to Stevenson. 14 to shoot here for Stevenson. Pull-up jumper. Stevenson back iron miss. No. Valentine fighting hard for the rebound. Dives to the floor. We've got a held ball. Carthage possession. Nice job by Valentine as he got tied up, digging hard for that rebound. And the fans here at the Tarble Arena, some 600 or so, appreciating the effort by Valentine. So alternate possession arrow to the Redmen They'll get a fresh 35. Stevenson to Kelson. Kelson now driving the basket, going up left side. Counted in one! Oh, what a move by Kelson. Caught that ball top of the circle and then dove hard down the left block for the layup. Beautiful job by Kelson to attack the basket. That's been the storyline here. The difference between last night and today, the Redmen are attacking the rim offensively. Kelson completes the three-point play. Mike Kelson with 20 points tonight for the Redmen. 64-61, Redmen back to within 3, 4:20 to play. Soft jumper off the left side, that's no good. Van Wyk able to pull in the rebound off the miss, that time by Stout. Logan will bring it across. Big possession here for the Redmen. Try and get the crowd back into this one. Valentine now, high on the left, back to Kelson. Kelson feeds Van Wyk, going hard to the basket right side. Yes, sir! And one upcoming for the native of the Nassau, Netherlands. Van Wyk, Cameron Van Wyk. Nice feed from Kelson that time, and Van Wyk knew what to do. Took it right to the basket and drew the foul, made the bucket. Chance for the three-point play to tie. Free throw is on the way. That's no good. Rebound Daly. Remains a 1-point deficit here. Under 4 minutes to play. 64-63 Calvin. Daly now works it around to Brink on the left wing, guarded by Logan. Gets it to Vanderbrug. Now to Stout, backing down on Van Wyk. Turning over Van Wyk and draws the foul. Van Wyk trying to deny Dykstra that time inside, and Dykstra able to draw the foul, and he'll go to the line. He will shoot a pair. Tyler Dykstra with 7 points. Make it 8, 6 of those here in the second half for the Calvin Knights as he hits the first of 2 free throws. Second one up by Dykstra. That one is good. 2 for 2 that trip. 3-point advantage, 66-63, 3:35 remaining here in Kenosha. Stevenson works the basketball around to Van Wyk. Now to Valentine, to Kelson. Kelson now hands it off to Logan. Kelson with 20 points here today. Collegiate best for the sophomore. Logan now with 10 on the shot clock. Gave up the dribble, needs some help. Finds Stevenson, fakes the shot, dishes off to Kelson for 3. That's a rattle out, no good. Daly with the rebound, he'll push it up. Lost it from behind. He was actually fouled from behind by Van Wyk. He was going for the steal. Daly was dribbling that ball rather high, trying to get it across midcourt. Van Wyk went for the steal and commits the foul. Van Wyk, his second personal, 9th on the Redmen. So 1-1 here for Daly. Jordan Daly today. 1 for 2 from the field. 6 rebounds. And collects his first free throw of the ball game. Mike Castell with 4 fouls back in now, replacing Cameron Van Wyk. Also Reese Hirth in, replacing Sean Valentine. Good effort by Valentine here, particularly that offensive possession save there where he got the tie-up to hold on to the basketball. And Daly's free throw short on the second one. Hirth able to gobble up the rebound. 67-63 Calvin, under 3 minutes to play. Hirth swings it off to Kelson high on the right. Gets a screen from Castell, takes the dribble to the top of the circle, backs it off as he was denied by Brink that time. Now Logan penetrates, skip pass, Kelson, open 3, yes sir! Mike Kelson left open, left corner 3. Kelson with 23, the Redmen to within 1. 67-66. 2:25 to play. Canoni below the free throw line. Into the left corner it goes. Dykstra takes it back to the free throw line. Denied by Stevenson. Back to Canoni. Through Canoni's hands and another turnover. Well, that's the story on the Calvin side here in this second half. That's 11 second half turns by Calvin. Carthage with a big possession here. Down 1 with the ball. 2:15 to play. Kelson Works the dribble. Nearly turned it over on the palm. Gives it back to Logan. Logan will back it off high in the left wing. Gets a screen from Stevenson now. Slides off to the right side with the dribble. Gives it to Castell. Back out to Logan. 13 to shoot. Logan now works around the Stevenson screen. Penetrates. Pulls up. 8-footer. Good. Credit Stevenson for sliding up the block that time to set the screen. That opened the angle for Logan. The Redmen have a 1-point lead. 68-67 Carthage. 1:39 to play. Brink now high on the left. Guarded by Logan. Crowd trying to help the Redmen here. We got a hand check foul on Logan. Oh my goodness. Nickel dime there. Kenny Faulkner on the call. That'll put the All-American candidate Brink on the free throw line. Jordan Brink, 19 points tonight. 7 of 13 from the floor. 6 rebounds. No helpers, though, as Brink makes the first of 2. Double bonus now the rest of the way out for both teams. He is automatic from the line. Only 1 miss from the stripe so far this year. 95, better than 95%. He makes both here. 4 for 4 tonight from the stripe for Jordan Brink. 21 tonight for Brink. 69-68, Carthage down 1 with the ball, minute 20 to go. Logan swings it around up top to Castell, around to Logan, back to Stevenson. And a hand check that time on the big man, put both hands on Stevenson. Dykstra did that time as Stevenson drove out of the right corner, and that will put Stevenson on the line shooting double bonus. That's 3 on Tyler Dykstra. And Stevenson back to the line for the Redmen. Some quality minutes here for Mike Stevenson. Free throw short. His first miss from the line today. Redmen as a team today, 5 for 10 from the line. Calvin today, 11 of 13 from the stripe. That's an in and out, rattle out, no good. Ball goes off of Vanderbrug, though, off his shoulder as he was battling Castell for that miss. And Carthage will get possession underneath with 1:11 remaining, down 1. Stout in for Vanderbrug. For Calvin as Stevenson will trigger right of the basket. Goes up top to Logan. Big possession here for the Redmen. Castell with the screen. Logan slides it back up top, high on the right wing. Logan continues to dribble the basketball uncontested. Now drives the basket. Gets to the hoop. Reverse layup is good. Dante Logan penetrates down for the layup. 70-69. 48 seconds to play. Redmen by 1. Brink now slides it off left wing. Guarded heavily by Dante Logan. Crowd on their feet. Big deep 3 by Brink is good. Oh, clutch shot there by Jordan Brink. Timeout, Calvin. When in doubt, a fade 3 by Brink over Logan. And Calvin takes a 2-point lead, 72-70. Logan on both ends here on his offensive drive. Did a little bicycle dribble and then drove it down hard right, then reversed left off the glass for the layup, and then back the other way. Brink, little bicycle dribble of his own between the legs, and then a little hop step, and then shooting up and over Logan with a hand in his face. The preseason All-America candidate nails the triple. 24 points on the night for Jordan Brink. 34 seconds to play, so the shot clock is dark. Redmen will have to bring it in full length. They trail by 2. Both teams in the double bonus. Possession arrow favoring Calvin. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining. Carthage can run the baseline to get this ball in. Logan, Hurth, Keltson, Castell, and Stevenson out there for the Redmen. It's going to be Brink, Daly, Cannoni, Dykstra, and Stout for the Calvin Knights. Redmond will bring it in uncontested here. Again, shot clock dark, 34 seconds to play. So we'll see what Bosco wants to do here. He's got 3 timeouts to play with here. Looking for one. I'd say it's going to be either Keltson or Hirth. We'll see how they set it up. Hirth for 3, short. I thought that was rather quick, and then we get a quick foul as Dykstra gathered in the rebound. I'm not so sure that was a good look there. I thought for sure the Redmen would take it all the way down a few more seconds and then maybe take another timeout. Hirth quickly hoisted that one, and now a big set of free throws here for Tyler Dykstra. A chance to make it a 2-possession game if he hits both here with 26 seconds to play. Barely drew iron. As he comes up short, Dykstra does on the free throw. Big break there as Redmond will still have a chance here. As he makes the second, it's a 3-point game. 26 seconds to play. Logan will touch it now over midcourt. Logan back to Hirth. Hirth now will drive the basket, skip out to Keltson for 3. Got it! Mike Keltson for 3 out of the right corner. Timeout, Redmond. Mike Keltson out of Bloomingdale, Illinois, ties the game with his triple, his 6th three-pointer of the ball game. 26 on the night for Keltson, and we are tied at 73 with a timeout. I'm beginning to love this kid more and more. Mike Keltson, a 6'3 sophomore out of Glenbard East. All DuPage Valley Conference his senior year. Played some football as well as baseball in high school. But I'll tell you what, he has come up with clutch shot after clutch shot here in the last 2 nights. Keltson with 26 tonight. The tournament record in this series, in this tournament, is Kent Raymond with 34. As we get set to resume play here in a tie game, tied at 73. Calvin will bring it down. Got to stay on Brink here. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Brink stumbling around up top with it. Hirth sticking with him. Pull-up free throw line jumper by Brink is good. Jordan Brink hits the free throw line jumper and takes a 2-point lead, 75-73 with 2.2 seconds left. Jordan Brink, who else? With the big bucket. He's got 26 as well. So a timeout, Redmond. They'll have to go the full length here. Redmond with 1 timeout remaining. 2.2 seconds left. They got to get something up near midcourt. But hey, when you chips are down, I'll tell you what, that Jordan Brink kid is something else. One of the best players in all of Division III. I've seen some good ones, having seen Jason Wertel ply his trade here for the Redmond, and of course, the one and only kid fantastic Steve Jurkovic for 4 years here for the Redmond, having seen both play in this gym. I've seen the Emilianovich kid for Illinois Wesleyan. I've seen Crabtree. I've seen all those great players come through Illinois Wesleyan, Kent Raymond, but I put Jordan Brink on there. When the game's on the line, Brink is one of the 5 I'd want on the floor, and he proved it there. Able to hit the clutch free throw line jumper with 2.2 seconds left. Stevenson, Hirth, Van Wyk, Keltson, and Logan. One final chance here for the Redmen. They're down 2.2 seconds to play. Carthage will spread the floor here. Time for a catch and a quick pass. Logan across midcourt. He'll get it away as the horn sounds, and it banks off short. Logan got a clear look. It would have counted had it gone down, but the 19th ranked Calvin Knights on a last-second jump shot from the free throw line by Jordan Brink take this one here this afternoon, 75-73. Great effort by the Redmen here today. Just wasn't enough as Kelvin was able to battle back and take the Redmen here today by a final of 75-73. We'll pause and take a 2-minute break. Back with our post-game report and include a visit with head coach Bosko Jurkovic. Once again, the final here, Calvin College 75, Carthage College 73. We'll take a 2-minute break on your home for Redmen Athletics, Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. Well, an exciting ball game here this afternoon. Unfortunately, does not fall the Redmen way as Jordan Brink's jumper from the free throw line with 2.2 seconds left, the game winner, as Calvin escapes with a 75-73 victory over the Carthage Redmen. Carthage trailed by as many as 7 here in the second half, and as late as up on the Redmen as much as 4 late. They had a 4-point lead with 3 minutes left on a Jordan Daly free throw. That made it 67-63. Carthage came back though. Mike Keltson, a valiant effort today. Keltson with 26 points, a collegiate best for the sophomore. Came back with a 3-pointer to bring the Redmen back to within 67-66, I should say. Carthage then took a brief 1-point lead on a Dante Logan bucket on a layup with 1:49 remaining, but then Jordan Brink started to take over the final 90 seconds here. Brink was fouled, made 2 free throws, put his team up by 1, 69-68. Then Stevenson, underneath, driving the basket, was fouled by Tyler Dykstra. That puts Stevenson on the line, missed the free throw. On the rebound, it went out of bounds. Carthage got it back, and on the inbound, it was McNellis getting back to the line and missed his foul shot, but Connor Vanderberg then got the rebound. Calvin up 1 at that point, but then Connor Vanderberg turned it over with 1:11 left. That gave Carthage the ball back, and the Dante Logan then took advantage. Shot clock going down, drove the basket from the top of the circle. With under a minute to go, blasted through the right side on a screen by Costell, laid it up with the left hand, and that gave the Redmen a 70-69 lead. But then Jordan Brink, with 35 seconds left, hit the 3-pointer straight up over the top. Not much more Logan can do. He had it defended well with the left hand in his face, and Brink able to hit the 3-pointer. That put Calvin up 72-70. Costell fouled Tyler Dykstra, fouling out of the ball game with 26 seconds left. Dykstra missed his front end of the free throws, hit the back end to put his team up by 3, but then Mike Keltson able to come up with a big 3-pointer with his team down 73-70. Redmen inbound the ball, let it roll across midcourt. Hurth able to penetrate through the lane. The skip pass to the right corner for Keltson, able to drain the triple. Carthage calling timeout with 19 seconds left with a tie ball game, 73 all. Following the timeout, Calvin got the ball in play. Jordan Brink, letting time roll down with about 6 seconds left, spun around, got enough clearance away from Reese Hurth, who had a hand in his face, hit the free throw line jumper, and that was your game-winning shot to propel Calvin to a 75-73 victory. Carthage had one more chance with 2.2 seconds left, but Logan's 3-pointer at the horn skipped off the glass and the rim, and Carthage suffers their second consecutive loss. They've now lost 3 of their last 4 as the Redmen fall now to 3-5 on the season. Calvin earns a split in this 2-day tournament, losing to Wheaton last night and picking up a last-second victory here today. The 19th ranked Knights now go to 5-3 on the season. Final numbers here for the Redmen. Did a very good job. I thought the effort tonight very, very good. offensively. Carthage, their game plan, and we'll talk with Bosko here in just a few minutes. I thought the game plan well executed. It looked like the game plan was to attack the rim. Calvin, for the game, shot 70% in the second half, and for the game, 60%, 27 of 45 tonight for Calvin. The Knights were 5 of 6 in the second half on three-pointers. For the game, 9 for 15. They were 12 of 15 from the line. They out-rebound the Redmen 30-25 in the process. Meanwhile, the Redmen, 44% shooting in the second half, 15 of 34, just 3 for 14 on three-pointers. All three of those made by Kelson here in the second half. For the game, the Redmen 47% shooting on 30 of 63. Redmen were 8 for 28 behind the arc and only 5 for 11 at the free throw line. That's a stat that kind of jumps out at you. When's the last time you saw a sub 50% free throw shooting team in the Redmen? Carthage was led tonight by Mike Kelson, a collegiate best 26 points. Kelson in 35 minutes tonight was 10 of 18 from the floor, 5 for 13 on three-point attempts. Had 26 points and dished out a couple of assists and had 1 steal tonight. Mike Kelson, for the second night in a row, the Carthage player of the game. Reese Hurth, a nice rebound tonight for Hurth. He had 14 after a 1 for 10 night last night. Comes back 7 of 17 tonight. However, he missed all 6 of his three-point attempts. Still finished with 14 points. Dante Logan, a season best 14 for the Redmen tonight. 7 of 10 from the floor. He was able to attack the rim on several dribble drives to the basket, particularly early on tonight, in getting his 14 tonight. 6 points each for Cameron Van Wyk and Scott McNellis. 3 each for Mike Stevenson and Sean Valentine. Jordan Brink with 26 tonight to lead the way for the Knights, including the game-winning shot with 2 seconds left. He was 9 of 15 from the floor for his 26. Connor Vanderbrug off the bench for 23. The big man 9 of 15, including 3 of 4 from behind the arc. And 10 points for Tyler Dykstra tonight. He was 3 of 4 for his 10 points, the leading scorers for the Calvin Knights, who pick up a 75-73 last-second win over the Redmen. Joined now by head basketball coach Bosko Jurkovic. Bosko, those exciting games here tonight. Great to witness. Probably fun to coach, but unfortunately didn't fall in the winning circle here tonight.
18 hours makes a big difference, John. You can't quarrel with the effort today. Really can't quarrel with the execution. Maybe we're just a little bit snake bit right now. We had opportunities there late to make a play and just couldn't quite get it done. Having said that, all things being equal, what a good player 12 is. He made 3 shots that they'd be proud of if he was at Madison. He just made 3, and if you looked at his numbers going into the game, he's 19 points at 60% plus from the floor, 95 at the line, and 50 from 3. He hit a dead 3, he hit a spinning 2, and then he got another one, and those were all difficult shots, and give them credit. And I thought we competed very well to the end, and there's some things that we obviously can do still a little bit better, but a whole lot different outlook than it was yesterday.
Offensively, your team executed well here, I thought, particularly in the first half. It was clear you were going to attack the rim. You found some ways to attack the rim with Dante Logan's penetration here tonight.
Well, we need Logan to play more like he played today, not necessarily the point scored, but the ability to take the ball north and south and then make decisions and distribute the ball accordingly. We've seen a lot of that from him in the last couple of years. And earlier this year, for whatever reason, maybe it's a scheme we've been using, maybe it's just that he hasn't been as sharp. The fact is we weren't getting that. And I think last night after the game, he was to himself saying, I need to be more aggressive, I need to get people involved. We tweaked a little bit the angles of the screens, which I thought was going to give him a little bit better of a north-south angle so he can distribute the ball. I thought he played very, very well tonight. Game balls being handed out, he's certainly right at the top.
Mike Kelson, back-to-back ball games for you, led the team in scoring last night with 15, 26 here tonight on 10 of 18 from the floor. And, we talked in the pregame about teams wanting to take Reese Hurth away from his offensive scoring ability, but that's opened up some opportunity here for Kelson.
We're going to find out. I've been a huge Mike Kelson fan from the first time I saw him play in high school, and he still has some work to do on his game to take that next step. But when you look at players at our level, he's a bigger guard, he's a strong guy, He can shoot the ball, and he's a pretty good athlete. So I really think that he's going to be an exceptionally nice player in our program, and he really did. He made some big shots tonight, as he did last night, and kind of kept us somewhat in shouting distance last night. Tonight, he made a shot to tie the game with under a minute to go, playing very nicely.
Talk about that final minute. You had that final look with the game tied at that point with a chance with Reese Hurth-Smith there. What were you looking for there with a 2-point deficit, 72-70, bringing that ball down in the final 30 seconds?
Well, you're just trying to get the best shot you can. They were switching everything, which I thought gave us an opportunity to get the ball to Hurth or Kelson because they'd be guarded by a bigger player. As it turned out, we got a good look. It didn't go in. And it was just one of those things that it still came down to the last play. They make that tough shot, and I really liked our setup. And had there been 3 seconds instead of 2, Logan maybe gets one dribble deeper, and then maybe that shot goes in. When he shot it, I thought it was 50-50, and maybe we're due one and didn't happen. It hit the board, the rim, and bounced out, and it was a tough way to finish.
Well, Brink's final shot, there wasn't much more you could do. Hurth was with him, body, step for step, body to body.
There are very few guys that can shoot with a man directly in front of you. I don't care at what level, and he did 3 of those. He made the 3 over Logan. He hit a really tough shot over Hurth, and earlier he was getting Kelson into foul trouble. So we tried 3 different people, all of which we consider to be above average defensive players, and he was still able not only to get the shots, to make the shots, and give him credit.
And you were competitive on the boards here tonight, Bosco. Looking at the final stats, you lose the rebounding battle 30-26, but what's impressive is out of your 26 boards, 14 on the offensive glass.
Well, this is the first time, and our guards have not rebounded very well at all. Last year when we played at Hope, and we didn't mention this last night, their guards out-rebounded ours 16-2. And we're still not rebounding. If you take a look at Kelson's got 1 rebound, Hurst's got 1 rebound. They played 35 and 28 minutes. Logan's got 2. But tonight, it was Mike Stevenson and Sean Valentine, both who deserve a real good mention. They played exceptional. And they kept a lot of stuff alive and were able to make plays, positive plays, to give us opportunities to get the ball where we wanted.
You were looking for signs of encouragement here going into this week break now before you play Lake Forest. Did you see some things here tonight that give you some hope here going into the final break and into the stretch here against Lake Forest next Saturday?
John, if I knew the answer to that, I could probably bottle it and sell it to a lot of coaches. I don't know. This isn't a team. There was a time a few years ago that I could tell you within 1 game or 2 games exactly what your record would be at the end of the season, and I was invariably close to being right. I still can't tell you. If the team plays like they play today and continue to get better from certain people, we got a chance to be a very competitive team in our conference. On the other hand, if we play like we played yesterday for the last 25 minutes, if we play like we played against WashU in California, we're going to be scratching to win any games. So I hesitate to say this is a huge step forward. Let's be proud of the effort. We talked about this earlier, and I talked to them with our players about it, is that we have to approach it 1 game at a time. You said 1 possession at a time, and unfortunately that's the way this game finished. But it is 1 game at a time. Now it's Lake Forest, then it's Oshkosh, then we're in conference, and let's see. I never thought that this wasn't a good enough team to be competitive, and yet we've really not played very well to this stage. And I take full responsibility for that, as I always do. Let's get better. Let's do a good job against Lake Forest. Let's give ourselves the best chance to be successful and go from there.
Let's get through finals and head over to the Foresters and Lake Forest on Saturday.
Always a good call. Thanks, Johnny.
You bet. Thank you, Bosco. Bosco Jerkovich joining us on our post game here tonight as the Calvin College Knights on a last-second field goal with 2 seconds left by their preseason All-America selection, Jordan Brink, knock off the Redmen here by a final of 75-73. Again, Mike Kelson with 26 points to lead the way for the Redmen. Jordan Brink with 26 points tonight to lead the way for the Calvin Knights. So that'll wrap things up here this evening as Redmen fall to 3-5 on the season. They're in the throes now of a 2-game losing streak, and having dropped 3 of their last 4, they will have a staggered week of practice this week around finals. This is semester finals week here at Carthage, so practice schedule a little altered because of that, working around it. Finals begin Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Redmen will be back here on the home floor Saturday. We will not have a broadcast for you on Saturday as the Redmen will take on Lake Forest. As a matter of fact, our next basketball broadcast will be women's basketball here on WLIP, as the Lady Reds will travel to Florida. The Lady Reds making a trip down to the Tampa-St. Pete area, and they will take on a couple of tough teams in that particular tournament, as that will be played over at the Eckerd College St. Petersburg Classic, as they're calling it. And our next broadcast will be on Friday, December the 19th. That'll be against Messiah College. That will be a 2 o'clock tip Central Time. We'll be with you at 1:45 Central Time on Friday, December 19th. Women's basketball from the Eckerd College MacArthur Center in St. Petersburg, Florida. It'll be Messiah College against the Carthage Lady Reds Friday afternoon, December 19th. And then it will be on Saturday, December 20th, Wells College. That will be a 7 o'clock Central Time tip. We'll be with you at 6:45, again from the MacArthur Center on the beautiful Eckerd College campus in St. Petersburg, Florida. Then we return home. It will have a busy week between Christmas and New Year's. A pair of women's games for you on December 29th and 30th. Lady Reds hosting a women's basketball tournament, as the first game will feature Manchester and St. Thomas of Minnesota. Lady Reds will take on St. Mary's College of Indiana at 7 o'clock on Monday night, December the 29th. We'll have the broadcast at 6:45, and then depending on how the Lady Reds do, either a game at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock on Tuesday, December 30th. Then on Wednesday, December 31st, we'll be with you against Oshkosh, as the Redmen will be back in action against UW Oshkosh. So very busy schedule as we get into the holidays, but our next basketball broadcast will be on women's side. It will be women's basketball December 19th and 20th from St. Petersburg, Florida. My thanks tonight to Mike Love and John Voinovich for their production help here on the video stream, and their technical support here of our video and audio stream here at Carthage College. Scott DeLabio, our studio engineer, back in Pleasant Prairie here on WLIP, doing a fantastic job once again, as he always does. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring him a winner tonight, as Jordan Brink's free throw line jumper with 2 seconds left takes down the Carthage Redmen tonight by a final of 75-73. John Weiser saying good afternoon from the Tarble Arena, and thank you for tuning in to Carthage Redmen basketball, heard exclusively on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050, WLIP Kenosha. Have a great evening, everyone.